for me, I found that my brain went into survival mode. So it's like, let's do this. Let's get the treatment done. Let's get you up to a place where you can live comfortably. And that was about 2.5 years. And then it was kind of like the December of 2021 that I started to feel that things were getting hard. I would notice things like I was getting like flashbacks and things that I hadn't had before, and it was things of being in the hospital, having treatment, etc. And I found that I was in, so I had anxiety before, but it was getting worse, and I find that I would talk to myself by looking at how it used to be, and kind of put myself down, and sorry, I realised that wasn't healthy, and because my body didn't feel enough without me having to do it. And so, I spoke to my doctor, and he wasn't massively helpful, to be honest, because I felt sorry for my GP, or that thing, because they still felt awful for telling me that I didn't have cancer, and that I was too young for cancer. And so every time I showed up, it just looked a little bit frightened. And so they asked me if I wanted tablets, and I was like, sure, whatever. But then they said that I can self-refer to my local wellness team. And so I tried the first time. I also applied for the hospital therapy team, and there was a bit of a waiting list. And so I kind of like, so I did the local authority one and the hospital and see which goes through. And then I finally, I spoke to a therapist at the hospital, but because I was so emotional and my speech wasn't that good, I found it a challenge to be able to talk to someone, and I found it that I was wasting his time. Which then, of course, puts more pressure on me, and I just stopped wanting to go, and so I boxed everything up, and was like, I'm not doing this. But then, when the appointments came for the following, so the local authority, wellness group support, my flashbacks were starting to be quite intense, and it's a good thing to talk about, because I think that hospitals, and it's not their fault, but don't give mental health support right at the start, and I think this is. So, I think anyone who has cancer, from the day they're diagnosed, should be given support mental health, rather than waiting for it, because it is hard. But I think because you know this has been around to a lot of people, and that's why I need to talk about it at the same time.
Yeah, and we'll.
And I think, and I believe that, so I ended up having cognitive behavioural therapy, which I have to say the long words because I can't say the abbreviation, and it helped who's it on my way, and I started to put the tablets as well, because I found the therapy and the other sorts of thing, and that takes some time to put in. So having been given the tools to help change how the PTSD was, and because that was kicking my butt, and how to control my anxiety and turn it from an anxiety attack to a calming situation was just amazing, and even now, you know, my anxiety and the PTSD and the depression I get from it will never go away. But I'm not on the tablets anymore, which is good. I was able to come off of those through working with my therapist and then through the plans that I have. And I've got things on my phone that remind me what to do. So if I'm if I'm out and about and I'm like, oh my god, I can't cope, then I can go to a public toilet, sit down, find the thing on my phone, and then go through all of my practices. And that helps, absolutely massively. And so, yeah, it was. I was surprised at how my body shut off all of the mental stuff for 2.5 years, and then when everything started okay in my body, my brain was like, it's my turn now. I need to be fixed. And I still have issues, I'm not gonna lie. I still have moments where I was like camping with my husband and we bought some hot roast and put it back to a tent, and I realised that I had all the ends of the pork that on a normal situation they're the best things ever. But when I'm out in a tent and I'm not set up like I am at home, they're the worst things because they're too hard and dry. And of course that set me off then I can't eat this. Oh my god. And then I'm like, oh, I've just spent money on it. Oh my god. And then it escalates into something massive. All because I had cancer and it took that away. But I had to remember to use my tools and that helps.